See, look, you don't buy no money. Very nice game. You give me birthday party.
Michal Menert from Music, and I'm at the home of the future. This is where the future started. Shout out to DJ Mo City for bringing me out here for my first India trip. I was born in Poland, and my grandfather set up looms here in India. So he has some things and just different stories that he told me when I was a child, you know, growing up. And this is when I was in a communist country where I thought I'd never be able to leave that country, let alone, you know, travel to India and be able to do it for my music, you know. So it's like coming here, there's like an ancient ruins behind me, you know. It's like it's a dream come true. It's something that, like, I'm 30 now, you know, and I've been dreaming about this since I was like 2-3 years old. So it's like to come here on this terms and meet good people and be able to hang out and like do shows and enjoy the scenery and be with, you know, just be here. It's amazing to me. It's like a dream come true, you know. I'm just in awe the whole time. It's like, and especially since it's one of those seeds that, you know, like before I knew about America, I knew about India through my grandfather, you know, and he had like little viewfinder slides with the 3D pictures, you know. So like I saw all these places and things and photos, and now I'm here living it myself, so I feel like I'm the luckiest guy on the face of the earth. Well, I started getting into music early on. My parents got me piano lessons when I was like 8-9 years old, and my dad at the time was experimenting with synthesizers, so he had a huge synthesizer studio in the upstairs bedroom, you know, and I'd go there after school, tinker around with it. He had drum machines I'd start messing with, and I had no idea that I'd ever be like a producer at that point. You know, I was just a kid playing around with toys. And slowly I started using computer software to produce things, and I was playing in bands, playing guitar and keyboards. And it eventually just progressed to where I realized that a lot of the things I wanted to do with music, it was a lot harder to teach people rather than just do it myself and produce it and make it happen. And then I started using samples and collaging things because I didn't have the access to, you know, string sections and female vocals from the 1960s and things like that, you know. Got back into software and used the combination of, you know, live analog and with like actual analog stuff and like synthesizers on VSTs and, you know, and then DAWs of different software platforms to make music with. And yeah, and the longest time I was doing stuff more around the hip hop world, where I was rapping and I had other rappers on my beats. And I never really saw that, like, the beats that I was making being able to be played alone. You know, I always saw them as a background for hip hop, and then all of a sudden, you know, over the last 5-6 years, our whole crew, it's kind of went from, you know, playing a few tracks in a car to your friends to playing it to a few thousand people, you know? Giving the music away, it was one of those things where you know, nobody was buying CDs, everybody was pirating stuff. Napster went through the whole collapse, and then everyone was trying to rebuild with like Rhapsody and all these different things. And I mean, it was so hard to market yourself anyway when you're an independent artist. It's like trying to sell it on top of that was just another obstacle that, like, you take that away and it's like immediately people will be like, okay, I'll try it, you know, I'll download this album. If I don't like it, just delete and it's gone, you know? It's not like they buy a CD and they waste $15 and they're like, oh, fuck these guys, you know? So yeah, I mean, that's been a blessing, you know, just kind of starting a new way of marketing yourself by giving the music away for free and then playing shows to larger crowds and just, being able to make money on the touring side rather than just the marketing your music side. And that way it also lets you do whatever kind of music you want, because you're not trying to sell your songs as singles and as hits. You're trying to just make the music that you believe in. Having just gone with my, my born name of Michal Menert and just being able to do that instead of being, under a moniker, it's like, it's made it a lot more personal for me. Like my whole first album I made, I was making it while my dad was dying of cancer, So like a lot of the songs, there's samples like "We Come and We Go, Tomorrow May Never Come," just different sounds that like really were personal for me and a way for me to like connect with what was going on, and it just kind of let me have like a real bond and a real like ownership of my music, where like even though I'm sampling stuff like that, it feels like this is my own thing, and if other people don't like it, at least I can stand behind it and be like, this is what I was feeling at the time, and it was how I expressed and got through that time in my life, So that's what it is for me, and it's like I try to really, where a lot of like electronic dance music is on the tip of being like more consumable and just kind of like an atmosphere for a party. Like I try to make it some music that you can live by, like music that you can listen to in day-to-day life and just kind of have there to be an accompany piece to your living, rather than just to your partying.
We as performers shared with you, our listeners, the creative best in our lives. You saw the performers in your own mind. You were not restricted by the boundaries, but instead painted your own big-as-life version of each moment with that loving, creative brush we call imagination. Just in case you're out of practice, here's a little test to demonstrate the power of your imagination.